Coming soon to own on
YouTube and Twitch.
DVD.
Yo, welcome back to another video, and today we're gonna be reacting to, yes, we're doing it again, another Invincible video. Before y'all start, Bazzi, why you always reacting to Invincible? You always reacting to Invincible and Batman. Yeah, that's my favorite shit, so obviously I'm gonna react to it. But anyways, let's get straight into it.
Many villains. But in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to explain every single one of them. Starting us off in D tier with Biplane. For many years, Biplane was the resident winged criminal of Denver who robbed many banks with his flying battlesuit. One day he learned that he had developed cancer and didn't have long to live. So he did what any of us would do in that situation. He made the decision to take the city down with him. He
Decided to cause havoc. If I'm going out, the whole city gonna have to feel my pain.
lined his suit with plutonium and prepared to blow himself up, destroying the entire city of Denver with a nuclear blast. However, the Immortal arrives on the scene and simply throws him into space, killing him instantly and saving the city. Next up we have Doc Seismic. Doc Seismic attended university where
I know I'm pausing a lot, but Doc Seismic, he got stronger later on in the series. Why is he still at D?
he received his doctorate in seismology, giving him the Doc title in his name. He was also an undergraduate in sociology and women's studies, with a minor in African dance. He possesses technological wristbands of his own invention that generate and release powerful shockwaves. It is theorized that brain damage from his earthquake wristbands are the reason behind his insanity. He also commands a legion of magmanites, which are rock and lava-based beings that live under the Earth's surface. Next we have D.A. Sinclair. D.A. Sinclair is a brilliant student who attended Upstate University and believes that whatever weakness a human has...
Student? He looks 30. I thought he was just a weirdo on campus.
Is an obstacle to be solved by engineering. He was also a mad scientist who would kidnap other students, taking them into his DIY lab in the sewers to turn them into cyborgs, or Reanimen, as he calls them. After being taken down by Invincible, he was hired by Cecil Stedman to create an army of them. Moving up to C tier, we have Anissa. Born on the planet Viltrum, Anissa is a high-ranking Viltrumite warrior, known for her unwavering loyalty to the Viltrumite Empire and its expansionist doctrines. She's also the most hated character in the comics, and you'll see why. She possesses the typical Viltrum...
Alright, let's talk about it. I know that scene where she take my boy's Mark manhood, but me personally, I feel like it shouldn't happen live action. And I feel like it kind of don't make sense to happen. I feel like that's more of a backtrack, because the Conquest was supposed to be like the second strongest, or like he supposed to be like, and I get like Conquest was holding back and stuff like that, but legitimately, if he's even able to keep up with it, Conquest one-on-one, he shouldn't be getting his manhood took by Anissa at this point. That's kind of like backtracking the power scaling a little bit. I don't know. But obviously, yeah, y'all gonna want that scene so bad.
Viltrumite attributes of superhuman strength, speed, flight, and near invulnerability, and she also exhibits a slowed aging process, making her thousands of years old. Initially, she approaches Invincible with a proposition to join their cause, seeing his potential as a valuable asset for the Empire. Upon his refusal, Anissa's methods become increasingly aggressive, culminating in a deeply traumatic encounter where she, forces him to, try to make a powerful baby. Yeah. We don't have to get into it. This act leaves lasting scars on Invincible, giving him PTSD from the event. But despite her attempted redemption arc later in the series, these actions continue to overshadow her. She goes on to marry a human man named Scott, and the two have a daughter together. She later sacrifices herself for the humans, but who cares? We hate Anissa. On to our next C-tier villain,
Why are you
Titan.
spoiling
Titan
like that?
is a supervillain enforcer who once worked for the crime lord Machine Head due to owing him debt. When Machine Head refused to let him out of his debt, he teamed up with Invincible and the Guardians of the Globe to take him down. After Machine Head was defeated, Titan took over his organization and became a crime boss in order to provide for his family. Next up we have Darkwing number 2. Benjamin Taylor was originally known as Nightboy, the sidekick to the...
Is he a villain? I know he kills people, but like, Is he considered a villain?
The original Darkwing. After the death of his mentor, he inherited the Darkwing mantle and became the new protector of Midnight City. Unlike his predecessor, however, he was more than willing to murder anyone that he perceives to be a criminal or an enemy. This routine drove him to becoming borderline psychotic, hearing voices presumably from his endless usage of the Shadowverse. But despite all this, he still saw himself as a hero. Using a device invented by the original Darkwing before his death, Benjamin was able to access the Shadowverse at will, a dark, empty pocket dimension that is also home to unknown alien creatures. He jumps in and out of this dimension while fighting enemies, allowing him to essentially disappear and reappear. But apart from that, he's just a regular dude who's in good shape and knows karate. Now, in our last spot in C tier, we have the Mahler twins.
What?
The Mahler twins are a
Way too
criminal
low.
scientist duo who aren't actually twins, but clones of one another. Due to the cloning process, each pair of Mahlers is physically identical, with no noticeable differences to distinguish one from the other. Each cloning concludes with a mind wipe to prevent the creator and clone from knowing who the original is. Despite this, they're still constantly bickering and betraying each other, with each clone believing themselves to be the superior Mahler. First up in B tier, we have the man himself, Russ Livingston. Russell Livingston was one of 4 astronauts that were sent from Earth on a mission to Mars. When the team of astronauts landed on Mars, they were soon kidnapped by the Martians and brought to the Emperor of Mars. They were scheduled
infected
for immediate execution due to the Emperor fearing that an alien race of mind-controlling parasites known as the Sequids would take advantage of their vulnerable human forms to rise and invade Mars. Invincible is able to help the astronauts escape, but it is later revealed that a Martian, that coward shapesmith, had shapeshifted and taken Livingston's place. The original is then claimed by the Sequids, which allow them to unify and begin their invasion of Mars. Russ and the Sequids make their way back to Earth to begin their invasion, when they are eventually stopped by Invincible and the Guardians. Next up, we've got Machine Head. Machine Head is a cyborg who operates as a crime lord in Chicago, Illinois. His origin is shrouded in mystery, but we do know that he has a lot of money. Enough to pay any super-powered beings to do his bidding. He is also involved in drug trafficking disguised as garbage disposal and building insurance fraud, where he orders the destruction of buildings staged to look like accidents so he could collect the insurance money. He almost...
I'm not gonna lie, you don't even gotta do that in a superhero verse. And just get it an Invincible fight. I know he collected dumb bread, Omni-Man versus Invincible. In that Chicago incident, I know he collected dumb bread.
Kills the Guardians of the Globe by contracting Battle Beast, Magmaniac, Kursk, Furnace, and Tether Tyrant to protect him during their attack. He was defeated and apprehended by Cecil Stedman and is currently serving a prison sentence. Moving right along, it's Mr. Lucan. Lucan is a low-ranking warrior of the Viltrum Empire who is over...
Low-ranking? I know he wasn't the strongest of the strong, but I wouldn't say low-ranking. He's like middle of the pack.
2,000 years old. He holds his ancestry in high regard and expresses disdain for quote-unquote inferior races, like Thraxans. He cruelly takes pleasure in methodically tormenting his victims to death. Next up, it's Craig. Craig is a high-ranking Viltrumite general and second in command of the Viltrum Empire, dedicated to establishing the Viltrum Empire as the only empire in the universe. He possesses one natural blue eye on the left and a cybernetic red eye on the right. It's unknown how he lost his original eye, but hey, it looks cool, I guess. And for our final member of B tier, it's King Lizard. King Lizard, previously known as Prince Lizard, is the leader of the Lizard League, a team of various lizard-themed supervillains. Born to his mother, Queen Lizard, the previous leader of the Lizard League, King Lizard was groomed for leadership from birth. Upon the mysterious death of Queen Lizard, possibly due to internal mutiny, he ascended to leadership, adopting the name King Lizard. After defeating the Guardians of the Globe and taking over a nuclear missile silo, King Lizard shoots Rexplode right in the noggin, but
my boy Rex ate that. Baby bullets. Lil ad 22 ain't doing nothing. He ate that to the dome. He took one to the back of the head.
Rex survives and beats him almost before being stopped by GDA agents. Now for our first member all the way up in A tier, it's Battle Beast. Battle Beast, aka Thawk, is an intergalactic...
Battle Beast at A tier? He needs to be at least an S? What are we doing? What are we doing?
warrior whose life is dedicated to seeking out and battling strong, worthy opponents. He was once the protector of his home planet. However, due to the constant fighting, he became addicted to it and eventually left to seek worthy combatants. His relentless pursuit of combat leads him across the universe, seeking adversaries with equal or superior strength and skill. He revels in ruthless encounters, showing no mercy. He experiences disappointment when his adversaries, such as Invincible, Black Samson, or Monster Girl, do not meet his expectations. However, despite his brutality,
Gang, it's been how long? I don't even know what Black Samson's powers are. I just know he's just a black dude that's to hang around. I have yet to see him use a power. I'm just keeping a book.
Battle Beast adheres to a code of honor. He makes the deliberate choice not to kill Invincible and the rest of the Guardians of the Globe due to the fact that killing insignificant beings holds no honor in his eyes. Battle Beast possesses superhuman strength, durability, speed, stamina, and powerful fangs capable of piercing superhuman skin. Moving right along, we have Conquest. Conquest is a Viltrumite, and I would hope by now you already know the deal with those guys. He is the second most powerful Viltrumite on the planet, and potentially the oldest, although his exact age is unknown. After an incident on Savage Planet fighting the Rognar, Conquest lost his right arm, was blinded in one eye, and received a distinct scar across his face. He then had his arm replaced with a cool bionic gold one. Next up we have Portal Boy.
But what happened to that arm though? My boy Invincible broke that. He said, I need those. He hit him with them. Stole that.
Angstrom Levy. Angstrom Levy was born with the ability to open traversable portals between his own reality and others, which is something his multiversal variants could not do. He grew up to be a pacifist, someone who does not believe in resorting to violence, and set out to travel the multiverse, sharing knowledge and swapping science with alternate versions of himself. He discovers that in most realities, Invincible joins his father, Omni-Man, to take over Earth. With very noble intentions, he concocts a plan to build a machine that would transfer the memories and knowledge of all his alternate selves into his own mind. He would then use this new technological, medical, and philosophical knowledge to help people across the multiverse. He enlisted the Mauler twins to build and run the contraption. However, while this consciousness pooling machine was running, Invincible came to stop the Mauler twins, believing they were up to no good. Which, to be fair, is very reasonable. This looks ridiculously suspicious. To stop the Maulers from killing Mark, Angstrom removes his helmet, but that makes Machine go boom, killing all of the alternate universe Angstroms and Maulers, with only the main universe version surviving. This accident left Angstrom disfigured with a grotesquely enlarged cranium, presumably due to holding so many memories, and he was now unable to distinguish his own memories from those of his alternate selves. With his memories of the event and his past scrambled, he swore vengeance on Invincible for things he didn't actually do. He had the best doctors in a dozen dimensions mend and reconstitute his body, leaving him with newfound super strength and durability, yet they were unable to fix his appearance. After a long battle, Mark
that's how you know you're
kills
cooked.
Levy in the Wasteland dimension. But wait, Angstrom Levy? More like Angstrom Stay-E, because it turns out he's actually not really dead. Now closing out A tier, we have our...
Oh, speaking of I seen something crazy on my phone. But speaking of Levy, I find it crazy, like he's mad at Invincible for killing his family, ruining his life, and then he's going to hire the Invincible that killed him over and over, that killed his family. He gonna hire that Invincible to go hurt the Invincible that did nothing to him, which is insane. I'm not gonna lie, is Paraplex getting snubbed here? I ain't see Paraplex once.
Argal. Argal was the father of Nolan Grayson, or Omni.
Oh, whoa. Spoilers. You know, if you already watched the comic, you already read the comments, good for you, but we skipping these. We don't need no more spoilers.
During this time, his heirs were lost, and Thrag became the acting emperor until a true heir could be found. Speaking of which, it's time for our only S-tier villain, Thrag. Grand Regent Thrag is a Viltrumite warrior and current leader of the Viltrumite Empire. Thrag was born on the planet Viltrum and was trained in all manners of combat since birth. He was specifically bred to be the strongest Viltrumite, and after their emperor Argol was killed, Thrag fought in the Viltrumite Civil War, meaning he is now thousands of years old. After the battle, the Viltrumites would emerge an unbeatable race.
He looked
led
good
by
though
him.
for a
Thrag
1,000-year-old.
would be granted the title of Grand Regent and was tasked with finding the heir of Argol. He keeps Argol's skull as a reminder of what would happen were the Empire to fall into disarray. He later gave up on this mission, believing that he was now the most worthy emperor. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. I love you. Now say it back.
Whoa. But love is such a strong word, you know. A lot can happen, you know, in a short amount of time. So, like, describe your definition of love, you know. But anyways, that was every Invincible villain explained in 12 minutes. There's definitely some villains he missed out on, like Powerplex and all that. You know, let them know the other ones down in the comments that he missed. Anyways, I'll see y'all boys later. Get your hands off of me, wanna rest my bones when I am free. You can't control